WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view is the best time of the year for superstars who want to take that next step into superstardom and get that mega push from the Fed, aka WWE. What's going on, guys? It's your buddy, it's your pal, it's Andrew Pillick here, back again after a bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break here. I was trying to regroup and see where I wanted to go with this channel, but I've got so many ideas and lots of videos on the way. So if you're new here and you love wrestling like myself, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the roster. Let's have some fun and talk about potential Money in the Bank 2024 winners. So the cool thing about WWE Money in the Bank 2024 is that it's actually going to be close to where I am, and that's Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now, WWE has been doing a lot of pay-per-views overseas, different countries, a little bit outside of the US, even though Toronto and Canada is probably the closest thing that you're going to get to an American crowd because we're all a part of North America. Obviously, the Canadian crowd brings it, I gotta be honest, but hopefully Toronto can match the energy of like a Montreal crowd because they usually go really stupid and we love seeing that. I'm gonna try to be there. I live about an hour away from Toronto, so I'm gonna try to be at that event, but I want to talk about some potential winners like I mentioned, and there's a lot of big names this year that could take that next step into being a men's or women's Money in the Bank winner, because you have to look at this briefcase as WWE saying this is the next person up, this is the next guy, this is the next girl that we want to take over the face of the company. We want them to take over being a champion and being a part of the history books, and we've seen that time after time. Superstars who win that briefcase and they go on to WrestleMania, SummerSlam, big events, and cash in and become a star. The interesting note that I want to bring up though is the poster, and I think the poster, I don't know if this is a leak or if something has already been announced, but I just kind of went on WWE.com and saw that this poster had already been up, and it is new because you see the Toronto CN Tower in the background, you see some buildings and stuff like that, so it makes sense that this is the new poster. And I find it interesting that Bayley's on this poster. She's the champion currently, so I'm not really sure what she's doing there. But you see like Io Sky, The Miz, and hey, Seth Rollins is on this poster. So maybe Seth is going to be involved in the Money in the Bank as well. So that's something to look out for. But if we start on the women's side, I think there's some really interesting names. And on the poster, you saw people like Bianca Belair. So potentially Bianca could be in this match. I don't think that she needs it. She's currently a tag champ with Jade Cargill. So I don't really know if she would be a person that would be winning the Money in the Bank. I know WWE loves to have Bianca in these big matches, which I get it. She's the EST of WWE, so I completely understand. You know, Io Sky is on there as well. Maybe she's trying to get back and get into that title picture again to face Bayley. I mean, she won the Money in the Bank last time, so that could be interesting. But there's a couple names here, actually probably a few names that I thought were potential winners, and the first one would be Nia Jax. Now, if you think that Nia Jax hasn't had a good run since coming back, I think that you're just ignoring it because of her previous work. And we know that previously she wasn't the safest worker. She might have not been the best worker in the WWE, but she's come back. She's been really good. I mean, yesterday I was just laughing really hard at watching her yell at Jade Cargill's daughter. I know that sounds crazy to say on camera, but I thought it was hilarious because that's what a heel does, and I'm sure they prepped Jade Cargill's daughter beforehand, like, hey, guess what, like, you know, Nia's gonna yell at you, but it's okay, it's just for the TV. But Nia would be a cool winner. I'd love to see it, man. She's been having a great run. I honestly wanted her to win that battle royal, that title battle royal, whatever they had. I wanted her to win that because I think that she deserves it. I wanted her to win and be the heel champion that WWE needs right now in the women's side of things, because they need that. They need somebody to come in there and just be a complete asshole, win the title, and face babyface opponents that everybody will hate. And you know, that's what we need right now. We need everybody to hate Nia Jax again, and it would just be incredible to see her with the title. So I would love to see Nia win, but I don't think she's gonna win. The next person that I thought was a favorite up until recent events was, you know, it's Tiffy time, Tiffany Stratton. But she's gotten herself in a little bit of trouble recently, and it looks like she might have some heat backstage even before this whole little scandal with Jade and posting that video came out. And I'm not back there. I don't know what's going on backstage, and I don't want to speak on events that I know nothing about. It seemed as though Tiffany probably was the favorite to win the briefcase, and hell, she still might be one of the favorites. She's got to be up there, but if there's heat backstage and they're not sure about her, and then she recently just did that video and everything like that, I don't know if WWE wants to give her that push. But in terms of her in-ring work, she just had an incredible match with Bianca. She can work with pretty much anybody. Her promo skills are pretty damn good. I love her character. The Tiffy time gimmick is pretty dope. I would like to see her win the briefcase, but I don't think it's going to be this year. The person that I think is going to win is Chelsea Green. I'm not going to try to do the high-pitched, Samantha Irvin intro, but Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green would be a fantastic winner for this briefcase. She's also from Canada, so I think it would make a lot of sense. She's another annoying heel. WWE needs to work with these heel characters and allow them to continue to further their careers. And on the women's side of things, we haven't had a massive mega heel in quite some time, and that's why I bring up names like Nia Jax and Chelsea Green, because if they hold on to that briefcase, they are going to be so annoying. Imagine Chelsea with that briefcase. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. I think the last time I really enjoyed a heel that held on to the briefcase, and I could be completely wrong in this, I believe Carmella at one point was a heel with the briefcase, or even if she wasn't, I just remember her run with the briefcase being like kind of annoying but also interesting at the same time. So I kind of want to see one of the women hold on to the briefcase and make it like one of those things where you're actually waiting every week to see what they do with the briefcase. I just think Chelsea would take that to another level, and she's somebody that would make that briefcase super interesting. So she's actually my prediction to win, so I'm going to lock it in, Chelsea Green winning on the women's side of the Money in the Bank briefcase. The men's side is also pretty interesting, but with the current champions being Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest, you have to look at potential opponents for these guys and opponents that they're facing currently, and maybe the men that could win, the storylines that go even further. Originally, I was wondering if LA Knight was going to be somebody that wins the briefcase, and I don't think he's going to. LA Knight is on the poster for Money in the Bank, but I'm not really sure that this means he's going to win the match. I don't think that links up and the dots connect here, because there's other people on this poster, and I don't think WWE would want to give it out that easy. But LA Knight being a part of this match is pretty much a guarantee. The last time he was in the match, everybody thought he was going to win, and then Damian Priest won. But it's looking more and more that WWE is going to push him towards the United States Championship. If he loses to Logan Paul, then I have no idea what WWE is trying to do. I think towards SummerSlam, or maybe even Money in the Bank, they might have that match happen. Right now, I just don't know what WWE is going to be doing with LA Knight. I'm not sold on LA Knight either as like a champion, world champion type of guy, even though I do like LA Knight. Like, who doesn't like the LA Knight? Yeah, like the guy has a great character. In the ring, it doesn't always add up to his character. Again, I would be very happy and excited for him to win the briefcase. I just don't think they're going to do it. Just sitting here now, there's another guy that I mentioned earlier that has become very interesting to me that I think could potentially win the briefcase. But before I get even further, Sami Zayn is another name that's out there that could potentially win. And again, I know people are also making that connection to Sami because it's in Canada, it's in Toronto, especially if he drops the belt to Chad Gable. If he loses that Intercontinental Championship very quickly, then I could see him being in that Money in the Bank match and potentially winning. But is he going to cash in on Damian Priest? Because it seems like Damian Priest is turning face. Like, it looks like he's turning the corner of becoming a baby face. And is he going to cash in on Cody? Maybe Sami turns heel and that's how he becomes world champion. I don't think WWE is going to have Cody drop the belt anytime soon. So I'm not positive on WWE running with Sami Zayn being a face and winning the briefcase and cashing in on Cody. I'm also not really sure how Sami cashing in on Damian Priest would do anything for Damian if they're turning him to a babyface, unless Sami like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for Sami to win right now. Again, he'll be in the match, I'm sure, but I don't think Sami's gonna win, because there's somebody now that I'm kind of maybe piecing together, and it could be a bit of a reach, that could win the briefcase. Do you guys want heel Seth Rollins back? Because I do. Seth freaking Rollins, man. He's on the poster. I'm hoping that he's gonna be in the match now, because this kind of makes sense. Could Seth turn heel and cash in that Money in the Bank on Cody Rhodes eventually? That could be interesting. So I usually don't do things like this, but I'm gonna just shoot way out on left field here and say Seth Rollins is my pick to win the men's Money in the Bank. It's starting to make a little bit of sense to me, because the last time we saw Seth Rollins, obviously he was shaking the hands of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, after putting his body on the line to basically help Cody win that undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I think now they're just calling it the Undisputed title, but I like saying that long name. It makes me feel like cool, I guess. But this makes sense now. I think if Seth comes back, he'll be a babyface, he'll win the briefcase, everybody's gonna be happy. Oh, Seth freaking Rollins, this is awesome. And even if they turn on him, I mean, maybe the crowd wants LA Knight to win. That's even better, because that just helps the heel character of Seth Rollins. But Seth being like, look, man, I helped you. You didn't give me anything here. I got knocked out by a chair. I got knocked out by a punch. You won the title. Like, what do I get? I lost my title that night. I helped you and you didn't help me. So now eat this briefcase and I'm going to win the championship. That, or Seth wins and CM Punk wins the world title, or Drew wins that title back, or whatever happens. They have Seth versus Punk versus McIntyre, whatever. There's so many different options here. Seth winning would give WWE an avenue to have Seth back into the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre stuff, or to have him turn heel on Cody Rhodes. So there's definitely options for that, and I feel like maybe that's where WWE is trying to go. So I want to know what you guys think. Is Seth Rollins going to win? Is it going to be LA Knight? Is it going to be AJ Styles, Kevin Owens? Is it going to be Io Sky? Is it going to be Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy time? Is it going to be Bianca? Is it going to be Chelsea? Who is it going to be? Let me know down below. I think Chad Gable and Ricochet are some interesting names. I think maybe we could even go with a Dakota Kai as an interesting name. I don't know. You guys tell me down below in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. WWE Money in the Bank is going to be so much fun. We're still far out, so I'll make a predictions video again. Maybe my thoughts will change, and maybe yours will too. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. That's what's good in wrestling. I'll see you in the next video.